I have two EG4 3 kilowatt inverters, off-grid inverters. The question is, what is the actual idle consumption of them? And I've got two in parallel here for 120 240 split phase operation, and so they're each providing one leg to the sub panel there. And it's always been a question. They're supposedly supposed to be less than 50 watts. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off the solar and shut off the breakers, and we're going to measure the idle consumption of these, i.e. with no power coming in and no loads on the units themselves. So let's go ahead. I'm going to shut off the solar, and we're going to go ahead and shut off all the breakers. Shut the grid bypass down as well. It's confirmed, if you can see on the screen, there's no grid power now. These are both operational. So DC here is showing 1.8 amps being pulled from the battery. So the inverter, both inverters are using 1.88, 1.87. If we go to the individual lines, each inverter is drawing 0.72 amps. The other inverter is 0.61 amps. Now looking at the voltage of the battery, this is as recorded on the EG4. It says 52.5 volts, 52.5 volts. Now calculating that out, amps times volts equals watts. That comes to 98.17, we'll just call it 98 watts. So basically these two in parallel here, working together, are pulling basically 100 watts, so 50 watts a piece, a little less than 50 watts. So when they say less than 50 watts, that's accurate. So the thought on my part was to, I'm going to go ahead and power these back up here. Turn the grid back on, turn the circuits back on, turn the solar back on. So for a bit of an upgrade in the future, I'm looking to go to an EG4 6000 XP, which basically is the same as these two units together, 120 240 split phase, but all in one unit and less than 50 watts consumption itself, which saves, about they say about 2 kilowatt hours per day in solar that you have to bring in running 50 watts versus 100 watts for these two units. So I hope that helps the next person who is using these units, and per unit they do consume a decent amount by the time you calculate it out per day and the number of solar panels you have just to sustain that energy usage from these units.